I had no idea that Angel Reese didn't even bother to show up, did not show up to support her teammates. It was that unimportant, but yet took a victory lap that you won a championship? You got to be joking.
Angel Reese beating her shit. What y'all gonna say now? Now that I have this unrivaled championship that I didn't even think to attend. She went to LeBron James's youngest son's high school state championship game. If this championship mattered, she would show up. She could afford.
Angel Reese just got exposed, and the internet isn't letting her get away with it. The so-called championship she's being hyped up for, turns out she didn't even show up for the playoffs, that's right, while her teammates were out there grinding, battling for a title. Reese was nowhere to be found, but that didn't stop the media from trying to prop her up like she was the MVP of the whole thing.
Is a champion in the unrivaled that virtually no one watched. People immediately took to social media and Twitter and started posting, look at what Angel Reese has accomplished. She has a national championship at LSU. She was the rebounding queen of the WNBA. Now she has a championship in the unrivaled, and she's Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, what an accomplishment.
So the question is this really a championship worth celebrating? Or is this just another example of the media creating a narrative that doesn't line up with reality? Let's get into it.
Angel Reese, 3-on-3, full season highlights. Let's go. This is my MVP, everybody, right here. She didn't win it, but she should have. Bang! She did, however, win Defensive Player of the Year. I would have given it to the rim. Bang! Best plays from the best player on this account only, right here. Bang! Oh yeah, you gotta see this one. This is a personal favorite. The hand-eye coordination, the footwork. Bang! Another fan favorite, wide open. Bang! Greatest to ever get their shot blocked, right here. Bang!
The unrivaled league was supposed to be a fresh game-changing take on women's basketball, something new and exciting.
Was a member of the Rose. They won the inaugural unrivaled championship last night.
I guess if you want to take a victory lap on that, you can. I just don't know if it means anything.
Well, let's be honest, almost no one was paying attention. This so-called championship that Angel Reese won wasn't even a real 5-on-5 BBB. It was a 3-on-3 tournament, a format that already struggles to get serious basketball fans interested.
Important this championship was to Angel Reese. Angel Reese didn't even attend the game. She was not in the building last.
Of course, the media wasted no time hyping it up like it was on par with an NCAA title or a WNBA championship. Oh man, these athletes, they make themselves look worse and worse and worse all the time. Reese's team, the Rose, went up against final. In the final game, a matchup that, let's be real, nobody was talking about, unlike actual professional leagues. With millions of viewers and real stakes, this tournament came and went with barely a whisper. Even ESPN, which tried to give it some coverage, couldn't make it seem like a big deal.
That was more important than being at the location, being with her teammates.
Why is it just women's basketball where we see athletes acting like?
The only reason people are talking about it now, because of the hilarious controversy surrounding Angel Reese's so-called championship moment. And here's the kicker. She wasn't even there while her teammates fought for the title. Reese was missing not just the championship game, but the last 2 games of the playoffs. But that didn't stop her from acting like she was the one who carried the team. Instead of actually being there to support or contribute, she literally fast-timed into the post-game celebration.
Her team achieved this remarkable accomplishment. Angel Reese was so thrilled, she FaceTimed in press conference and celebration. That's how big this unrivaled championship was.
If this was such a major career achievement for her, wouldn't she have actually, played in the game? Imagine Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, or Brianna Stewart missing a championship game and still expecting to be celebrated as if they did something, yet it wouldn't happen.
ESPN covered this championship. Chelsea Gray scored 30-some-odd points last night in the championship game. This championship that Angel Reese has added to her trophy case that she didn't even play in the last 2 games.
But of course, social media rushed in to protect Reese's narrative. Her supporters flooded Twitter with posts calling her a champion, listing all her past accomplishments, as if this random 3-on-3 tournament win was as meaningful as her LSU title or her WNBA.
Fan favorite, the touch and finesse. Beautiful. And then her grace. To all my lady listeners, if she can do this, I believe in your chances. Never give up. Never! Again, she is my MVP. I want to reiterate. Bang! Best jumper I've ever seen. She leaps out of a gym. The relentless motor on her. She won't stop missing. No one has the drive to miss baskets quite like her. Shot number 2. Bang! One more time. Last one!
But let's be real, this is P-manufactured hype. If this win actually mattered, Reese would have been on the court leading her team, not sitting at home facetiming like a fan. The truth is the media is desperate to create a superstar out of her, even when the facts don't support it. And when you take a closer look, it's obvious that this championship is more smoke and mirrors than actual accomplishment.
So much of this championship that she's I don't want to diminish the greatness of this championship by attending the game and rooting on my teammates. So I'll FaceTime in. No one wanted a 3-on-3 full court women's basketball league, and no one paid attention to this. Let's put together a social media campaign and let's pretend like Angel Reese just accomplished something
Important, this isn't the first time we've seen the media bend over backward to push Angel Reese as the face of women's basketball. The unrivaled league championship is just the latest example of them forcing a narrative that just doesn't hold up, even though the tournament barely made a dent. In the sports world, ESPN and other media outlets jumped on it, plastering Reese's name all over headlines despite her not playing in the final 2 games.
We're going to build up this narrative that Angel Reese is one of the great athletes of our lifetime. She's right there with Steph Curry, and she's right there with LeBron James. She's right there with Kevin Durant. She's got a championship at LSU, and now she has a championship in the unrivaled.
Think about that for a second. A player skips the most important games of a championship, and yet they're still getting credited as if they were a key part of the team's success. In any other sport, if a player sits out for the deciding game, they don't get the same level of respect as the ones who actually played. But when it comes to Angel Reese, the media is willing to rewrite the rules. And let's not act like this with some elite level tournament with top tier competition. This was a brand new 3-on-3 league with barely any star power. The biggest names in the WNBA, Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Caitlin Clark, weren't even in it. Even Sabrina Ionescu, who was originally involved, backed out early. And why? Because they know this isn't real professional basketball. The best players don't see it as worth their time.
Let's go rush to social media and pretend that you care more about the unrivaled league than Angel Reese.
Angel Reese does. Angel Reese just got caught in the middle of one of the most embarrassing championship celebrations ever, the so-called unrivaled league title she's been bragging about. Turns out she didn't even step foot on the court for the final 2 games. That's right, while her teammates were actually out there competing for the trophy. Reese was nowhere to be found. But that didn't stew the media hype train from acting like she just pulled off the greatest championship run in basketball history.
Angel Reese, 3-on-3, part 13, let's get it! Classic long 2. Bang! PSA, no rims or backboards were harmed during the filming of this video. But viewers are encouraged to look away. Bang! What? Bang! I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. They say $1 million for every missed layup is fair. Bang! They are stat penning queen properly. Fair wages for all. I repeat, fair wages. Remember, they're coming to see her. Long 2, butter pecan. Bang!
Now let's ask the real question. Is this even a title worth still celebrating? Or is this just another case of Reese getting credit she didn't earn? Let's dive into the details and expose just how ridiculous the situation really is. Of course, social media wasted no time spinning the story. Reese's fans flooded Twitter with posts calling her a champion, listing this so-called title alongside her LSU championship and WNBA rebounding stats as if they were all equally meaningful. But let's be real, this is nothing more than an inflated narrative. If this championship really mattered, Reese would have been on the court leading her team, proving she deserved the spotlight. Instead, she phoned it in, literally
don't understand how the WNBA won't have enough money to pay her. I mean, max contract. We're talking about Curry land. We're talking about LeBron. I mean, she brings all the eyeballs. She's so skilled. She does everything perfectly. I mean, she can dunk too. Look at that. Bang! Netflix, listen to me. If the WNBA won't pay her, you better. Comedy special, man. She's hilarious. Who else can do the hop, skippity, drop, step, bang better than her? Bang! Bang!
What's even funnier, the Rose actually played better without her in the championship game. Chelsea Gray stepped up and delivered an incredible performance. Some fans even pointed out that the team looked more cohesive and fluid once Reese was out of the lineup. That's the uncomfortable truth known in. The media wants to acknowledge instead of admitting that Reese's absence didn't hurt the team. They continued pushing the illusion that she was the heart and soul of this victory. But then came the most absurd part, Reese herself beating into the hype after the game. She took to Twitter, posting cryptic messages like, "What y'all going to say now?" as if she had just silenced her critics. But what exactly was she proving that a team she wasn't even on the court for could win without her? That fast-timing into a post-game celebration is now the same as actually competing.
And this championship game was so unimportant. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'll watch from home. I'll watch this stream from home. And I'll FaceTime in if we win.
This league has got to figure out a way to honor Angel Reese in all this.
This moment highlights the ongoing issue with how Angel Reese is marketed instead of letting her actual play define her. The media and her fans constantly try to inflate her legacy with artificial accomplishments. If she truly wants to be seen as an all-time great, she needs to prove it on the court, not through Twitter posts, not through media hype, and definitely not by claiming a championship she didn't earn.
Through the fake importance of double-doubles all over again? Question mark? Oh, nobody gets hollow double-doubles like your girl, Angel Reese.
So here's the real question. How much longer can this illusion last? At some point, the reality has to catch up with the narrative. The media can only push this superstar label for so long before people start seeing the truth. Angel Reese isn't the dominant force they're selling her as, and this latest so-called championship only proves.
There's 16 players with a higher point per average than Reese. She led the league in rebounds per game and personal fouls per game. Her points numbers won't translate to the W very well because free throws only count for one.
Think about how real superstars are treated when players like LeBron James, Steph Curry, or Breanna Stewart win championships. It's because they actually lead their teams to victory. They were on the court making the game-winning plays, proving why they were the best. But Reese, she sat out the most important moment of the tournament, yet somehow the media still made her the headline.
12 rebounds per game, how many of which were her own missed putbacks?
Now compare this situation to true competitors. Take Caitlin Clark, for example. Every single time she plays, she's under a microscope. Every shot, every assist, every win or loss is dissected. If she had missed a championship game, no one would be calling her a champion. They'd be questioning why she wasn't there. The same applies to A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, or any other top-tier player. The expectation is clear. If you want to be considered a champion, you have to earn it. But for Reese, the rules seem different. Instead of demanding that she prove herself, the media keeps making excuses. They refuse to acknowledge that her team didn't need her to win. They ignore the fact that she contributed nothing to the championship run. Instead, they hand her another undeserved accolade and act like it's legitimate.
Grow the game. All right, grow the game. All I'm saying is if you want to play in the big leagues, if you want to be somebody that transcends the game, you got to have a personality. I will give Angel Reese this. She has a personality. It's ignorance. It's stupid. I mean, it's really stupid.
If anything, this championship exposed a harsh truth. Reese's presence didn't make or break her team. They won without her. And that raises the question, how valuable is she really? And let's not forget how she handled the aftermath. Instead of praising her teammates, who actually won the game, she immediately took to social media to make the win about herself. Now, let's compare this to real champions. When players like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant won titles, they celebrated with their teammates, knowing how much work it took to get there. They weren't sitting on the sidelines fast timing into the moment and still expecting credit.
I was funding this league, I'd say, all right, hold on. You got a golden goose. We all got one in Caitlin Clark. These people that are criticizing Caitlin Clark, these people that are hitting Caitlin Clark, these people that are talking as if they are as important as Caitlin Clark are hurting our opportunity. They're hurting the...
At this point, it's becoming clear that Angel Reese's career is being propped up more by media hype than actual dominance. Yes, she was great in college, but when it comes to the professional level, she hasn't proven she belongs among the elite her WNBA performances have. Been inconsistent, her shooting is unreliable, and her game still relies more on physicality than actual skill. Despite this, the media continues to treat her like a generational talent. But this unrivaled league title, this might be the moment where the illusion starts to crumble. Winning a glorified backyard tournament doesn't make her a champion. Missing the final 2 games and still taking credit for the win doesn't make her dominant. This was a media-created fairy tale, and for those paying attention, it's becoming harder to ignore.
Most influential female athletes right now: Coco Gauff, 10, Juju Watkins, number 9, Cameron Brent, 8, Paige Beckers, number 7, Sabrina Ionescu, number 6, Asia Wilson. So Asia's not going to be happy either. Jakari Richardson was number 4, Simone Biles, number 3, right here. I can't quite get past the fact that Simone Biles is behind Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark, she ran away with number 1. I don't think that should surprise us. She came away with
At the end of the day, real champions show up. When it matters, they rise to the occasion, take ownership of their team's success, and let their performance speak for itself. Angel Reese had a golden opportunity to do just that, but instead, she took the easy way out, celebrating a title she had no role in winning. The media can keep pushing whatever narrative they want, but the facts remain: this so-called championship was meaningless. And it does absolutely nothing to change the reality that Reese still has a lot to prove. The unrivaled league championship, it was nothing more than an overhyped exhibition that barely registered in the sports world. And yet here we are watching Reese soak up the spotlight for a title she didn't even compete for. The media wasted no time spinning this as a monumental moment in her career. But the facts don't lie. She missed the final 2 games. She wasn't there when her team sealed the victory. And yet somehow she's still acting like this is a defining milestone.
Clark is redefining the entire landscape of women's sports. Her dominance on the court has shattered outdated narratives about women's sports, proving that women's basketball can be just as marketable and widely watched as men's. But the Caitlin Clark effect goes far beyond her performance. It's reshaping the entire sports landscape. Her presence alone boosts the WNBA attendance by 105% compared to games without her, while road games featuring her Indiana Fever see an 87% increase in opponent home attendance. Her rookie debut sparked a staggering 200% jump in WNBA viewership, while Fever home games drew a league-high 186,000 fans last season, a 265% increase from 2023.